Me, 38, clinical psychologist specializing in men's mental health in Boston. PhD from Columbia, 15 years experience, proud feminist my entire career. Started practice focusing on helping men process toxic masculinity, teaching them emotional vulnerability and dismantling patriarchal mindsets. Assumed most male mental health issues stemmed from refusing to show feelings. Recent trend in my practice concerning me deeply. Increasing number of male clients, ages 28 to 45, presenting with severe anxiety, specifically around relationships, marriage proposals, and commitment. Initially diagnosed as commitment phobia or fear of intimacy. Standard treatment. Help them overcome emotional unavailability. First patient exhibiting this pattern arrives for intake. Successful 32-year-old physician, engaged to be married in 6 months. Presents with panic attacks, insomnia, intrusive thoughts about wedding. Girlfriend pressuring him to finalize venue and guest list. He keeps making excuses, she's threatening to leave. Ask about his fears around commitment and marriage. Expecting typical responses about losing freedom or fear of intimacy. Instead, he pulls out 3-ring binder full of legal documents. I've been doing research on marriage laws and divorce statistics. The legal implications are genuinely terrifying once you actually read them. This is not typical commitment phobia presentation. He shows me statistics he's compiled over months. 70% of divorces initiated by women, especially educated women. Courts award custody to mothers 85% of time regardless of circumstances. Average divorced man loses 50% of assets plus ongoing alimony payments. No-fault divorce means reason for divorce doesn't affect financial outcomes. Why would I sign contract with 70% failure rate and catastrophic downside? Initially frame this as anxiety disorder with obsessive research component. You're catastrophizing unlikely scenarios based on worst-case examples. Most marriages work out fine. You're focusing on statistical outliers. He looks at me like I'm being willfully naive. 70% failure rate isn't worst case. It's statistical baseline. I wouldn't invest in any business with those odds. Shows me case studies he's researched from family court records. Doctors, lawyers, engineers destroyed in divorce proceedings. Men who did everything right still losing everything. False domestic violence accusations with no evidence required. Children weaponized against fathers routinely in custody battles. These aren't outliers. This is how the system operates. Try different therapeutic approach about his relationship specifically. Do you love your fiancée? Do you see long-term future with her? He tears up. I love her more than anything. That's exactly why I'm terrified. The more I love her, the more power I'm giving her to destroy me. This level of fear doesn't match typical premarital anxiety. He explains his research into his fiancée's family history. Her parents divorced when she was 12, mother initiated. Father lost house, sees kids twice monthly, pays heavy support. Her mother openly coached her. Never stay with man who doesn't serve you. If you're not happy, leave and take what you deserve. He's marrying into family that views divorce as empowerment. Ask if he's discussed these fears with fiancé. I tried once. She called me paranoid and insulting. Said if I really loved her, I'd trust her. Suggested prenup. She threatened to call off wedding. Now I'm trapped between losing her or risking everything. His mental health crisis is rational response to impossible situation. Second patient presents with similar pattern. 36-year-old engineer, girlfriend wants proposal after 3 years together. He's developed severe anxiety, started having suicidal thoughts. Every time I think about proposing, I see my dad's face. He lost everything in divorce. Lives in studio apartment at 62. Works job he hates to pay mom's alimony for affair she had. This patient's father attempted suicide twice post-divorce. Lost custody of children despite being stable, loving parent. Financial devastation plus losing kids created complete hopelessness. Patient watched his father's descent from successful man to broken shell. Marriage didn't just hurt him, it nearly killed him. Now girlfriend wants me to sign up for same thing. Ask about his relationship quality apart from marriage fears. We're great together. I want to build life with her. But why do we need government contract that only protects her? We can have commitment without signing legal suicide note. His girlfriend refuses this compromise, says marriage or breakup. Start seeing this pattern across multiple male patients. Not commitment phobic, but marriage law phobic. Rational fear based on observed outcomes and legal realities. These men want partnership, just not legal liability. My feminist framework can't explain this phenomenon. Third patient, 29-year-old teacher, engaged but having panic attacks. Fiancé wants big wedding. He's researching divorce attorneys. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for seeing lawyer before marriage. But I sign other contracts after reading them. Why is marriage the only contract where research is suspicious? Shows me consultation notes from multiple attorneys. Every attorney told him same thing off record. Prenups get thrown out regularly. Don't rely on them. Family courts heavily favor women regardless of circumstances. If she wants to leave and take everything, she probably can. If you're smart, you'll stay single or marry someone with more to lose. Legal professionals privately confirming his fears. Patient shows me his fiancé's social media activity. She follows accounts about divorce parties and reclaiming power. Posts celebrating women who left marriages for self-discovery. Memes about starter husbands and upgrading relationships. She's consuming content that glorifies what I'm afraid of. But when I mention it, she calls me controlling. Fourth patient, divorced man in his early 40s, extreme PTSD. Presents with symptoms similar to combat veterans. Nightmares, hypervigilance, panic attacks, suicidal ideation. His combat zone was family court system. Describes divorce as worse than death. He was married 10 years. Wife filed suddenly without warning. She made false domestic violence allegations to gain advantage. Restraining order removed him from home he owned. Couldn't see children for 8 months during investigation. Allegations proven false, but damage already done. Lost primary custody despite false accusations being documented. Pays $4,200 monthly in support and alimony combined. Works 70 hours weekly to afford payments plus his own housing. Sees children 4 days per month. They barely know him. I didn't just lose marriage. I lost my entire life. Everything I worked for went to woman who lied about me. His mental health deteriorated so severely, he was hospitalized twice. Attempted suicide 18 months post-divorce. Death seemed preferable to continuing this existence. Every month paying woman who destroyed my life. Watching my kids forget who I am. This is trauma from legal system, not just relationship ending. Start researching male suicide rates related to divorce. Data is absolutely devastating, and I'd never seen it. Divorced men have suicide rate 10x higher than married men, 8x higher than divorced women. Family court involvement is strongest predictor of male suicide. This is public health crisis I've been completely blind to. Research shows common factors in divorced men's suicides. Loss of children through custody decisions. Financial devastation from support and alimony orders. False accusations destroying reputation and career. Complete lack of legal recourse or support systems. Suicide note themes. I can't keep funding my own destruction. Fifth patient, 34-year-old veteran, referred by VA hospital. Survived 3 combat deployments. Now suicidal over marriage fears. Girlfriend issued ultimatum. Propose or break up. I've faced enemy combatants, IEDs, mortar fire. But marriage terrifies me more than any of that. In war, I had weapons and training in squad. In marriage, I'd have nothing if she turns on me. He explains military perspective I'd never considered. We're trained in threat assessment and risk mitigation. Marriage presents unacceptable threat profile for men. Enemy has access to all resources and intelligence. Legal system sides with them automatically. No defensive options, no rules of engagement. Just hope they don't decide to destroy you. Shows me statistics on military divorce rates. Deployment divorce rate over 80% for enlisted men. Wives cheat during deployment, file while spouse overseas. Service members come home to cleaned out accounts and custody battles. Multiple veteran suicides attributed to divorce proceedings. Guys joke that marriage is more dangerous than combat. It's not really a joke. Sixth patient, 40-year-old attorney who practices family law. Presents with severe anxiety about girlfriend's proposal expectations. I see these cases every day. I know exactly what happens. Men come to me after wives blindside them with divorce. They all say same thing. Never saw it coming. Thought marriage was fine. Now they're losing everything they worked for. He shows me his own case files proving his fears. High-earning men destroyed by ex-wives and court system. Good fathers reduced to supervised visitation over false claims. Prenuptial agreements invalidated for technical reasons. I draft prenups that don't hold up in court. How am I supposed to feel safe getting married? Legal professional who understands system refusing to enter it. He explains what he sees from insider perspective. Judges have unconscious bias favoring women as parents. Domestic violence accusations don't require evidence. Standard of proof is lower against men. One bad day, one argument, one false claim. Man's entire life can be destroyed permanently. His professional expertise making him unable to marry. Seventh patient, 31-year-old therapist, relationship crisis over marriage. He treats male clients, sees divorce trauma daily. Girlfriend wants engagement. He's having existential crisis. I spend 40 hours weekly hearing divorced men suffering. Every single one says they never thought it would happen to them. They thought their wives loved them, marriages were solid. Then suddenly, divorce papers, accusations, custody battles. He describes the pattern he sees across all his male clients. Month 1 to 6 post-divorce, shock and denial. Month 6 to 12, depression and financial panic. Year 2, anger at injustice of system. Year 3 plus, complete emotional shutdown or suicide attempts. I can't unsee that progression. Can't voluntarily sign up for potential path to that. Start having professional crisis of my own. Spent career treating male commitment issues as emotional problems. Never considered their fears might be rational risk assessment. Maybe these men aren't broken. Maybe the system is. My feminist framework dismissed male concerns as fragile masculinity. But the data supports their terror. Research divorce law history and feminist legal advocacy. Discover no-fault divorce was major feminist achievement. Removing requirement to prove wrongdoing for divorce. Seemed like freedom for trapped women. But created system where anyone can leave for any reason. And take half of everything regardless of circumstances. Find statistics on divorce initiation by gender and education. College-educated women initiate divorce 90% of the time. Higher a woman's education level, more likely she is to divorce. Men with higher education, less likely to divorce. Pattern suggests women using marriage as financial stepping stone. This supports what my patients are afraid of. Research family court custody statistics by state. Massachusetts, where I practice, heavily favors maternal custody. Fathers must prove mother unfit. Mothers automatically presumed fit. Equal custody only in 15% of cases despite fathers requesting it. System operating on 1950s assumptions about parenting, while extracting 2024-level financial obligations from fathers. Eighth patient, 43-year-old businessman, second marriage anxiety. First marriage ended in devastating divorce. Now girlfriend wants to marry. He's having severe PTSD flashbacks. First wife seemed perfect until we married. Then personality changed completely within months. Became entitled, critical, sexually withholding. When I asked what was wrong, she filed for divorce. He lost his business in first divorce settlement. Company he built from scratch over 15 years. Judge ruled it was marital asset despite existing before marriage. Ex-wife contributed nothing to business, but got 40% in settlement. I paid her millions for privilege of destroying what I created. She's never worked again, lives off my productivity. Current girlfriend seems wonderful, but he's paralyzed by fear. Everyone said first wife was wonderful too. How do I know this isn't same pattern? Dating, she's affectionate and reasonable. What if marriage flips switch like last time? His PTSD is from marriage institution, not specific person. Ninth patient, 28-year-old graduate student, pre-proposal panic. Girlfriend dropping wedding hints. He's researching instead of shopping for rings. Shows me spreadsheet comparing marriage outcomes by various factors. Age at marriage, income disparity, education levels, family history. Every variable I analyze shows unacceptable risk for men. Only marriages with good outcomes. Woman earns more. But high-earning women rarely marry down. He's created statistical model of his marriage success probability. Based on demographics, psychology profiles, family histories. His model predicts 68% chance of divorce within 10 years. Greater than 75% chance of unfavorable custody outcome if children involved. Expected financial loss of $847,000 over lifetime. These aren't fears, these are actuarial projections. I'm being asked to make worst investment of my life. Start questioning my entire therapeutic approach. Been treating rational male fear as psychological pathology. Prescribing anxiety medication for appropriate risk assessment. Suggesting therapy for men who've done their research. Maybe I'm the one who needs perspective adjustment. Not them. Research men's rights organizations I previously dismissed as misogynistic. Finding data and legal analysis I'd never encountered. Documentation of systematic family court bias. Statistics on false accusations and their consequences. Legal advocacy for fathers' rights and divorce reform. These aren't hate groups, they're trauma survivors organizing. Attend family court proceedings to observe myself. Week of observing custody hearings in Boston Family Court. Every single case, mother gets primary custody. Doesn't matter if father is more stable, higher earner, better parent. Maternal preference assumed unless mother is severely unfit. Fathers leaving courtroom devastated, mothers smiling. One case particularly disturbing. Father is pediatrician with stable home and schedule. Mother has history of drug use and unstable employment. Both lawyers present evidence. Judge barely looks at fathers. Mother-child bond is paramount in these early years. Awards mother primary custody, father every other weekend. Pediatrician father can't even get equal custody of his own kids. Speak with family attorneys after observations. They confirm what I'm seeing is standard practice. We tell male clients to prepare for worst outcome. Even great fathers rarely get more than 30% custody. System assumes mothers are better parents by default. Fathers have to prove themselves worthy. Mothers just have to show up. Legal professionals admitting gender bias is systemic. 10th patient, 37-year-old professor, relationship ultimatum crisis. Partner of 5 years demands marriage or breakup. He wants to continue as they are. She says that's insulting. Why do we need government involved in our relationship? We can commit to each other without legal contract. She interprets this as him not truly loving her. He shows me articles he's researched on marriage benefits by gender. Women receive majority of marriage benefits statistically. Longer lifespan, better health outcomes, financial security. Men's health outcomes barely improve or worsen with marriage. Men's happiness decreases on average post-marriage. From pure self-interest perspective, marriage benefits her, not me. Research he's compiled shows marriage satisfaction by gender over time. Men and women equally satisfied year 1 to 3. By year 5, men's satisfaction drops significantly. By year 10, men reporting lower life satisfaction than when single. Women's satisfaction remains stable or increases. I'm being asked to decrease my life quality for her benefit. That's sacrifice, not partnership. His partner found his research, called it cold and unromantic. But he counters. Marriage is legal contract, not just romantic gesture. If we're signing legal documents, I should analyze them. Any other major contract, research would be considered smart. Why is researching marriage seen as lack of love? Can't argue with his logic. Start compiling data from all my male patients. Common themes emerging that challenge my worldview. These men aren't emotionally unavailable or immature. They're highly analytical, informed, and terrified. Their fears are based on documented outcomes. Not psychological pathology, but rational risk assessment. Present findings at peer supervision group. Other therapists, mostly female, react with hostility. You're validating male commitment phobia. These men are using statistics to avoid emotional intimacy. Your job is to help them overcome these fears, not validate them. But I can't ethically call rational fears phobic. One male colleague pulls me aside after. I've been seeing same pattern in my practice. Too afraid to talk about it publicly. If you present this at conferences, you'll be ostracized. But someone needs to say it. Men's fears about marriage are valid. Even he is scared to discuss this professionally. 11th patient, 45-year-old divorced father, extreme PTSD case. Referred from psychiatric hospital after 3rd suicide attempt. His story is nightmare confirming every fear my other patients have. Was married 15 years. Wife had affair with neighbor. He filed for divorce, providing evidence of adultery. Despite proof of her infidelity, She got better settlement. No-fault divorce means her cheating was irrelevant. Judge said private decisions don't affect parenting ability. She moved a fair partner into my house with my kids. I pay mortgage for them to live there together. System rewarded her betrayal financially. He lost primary custody despite her affair and instability. Judge said disrupting kids from family home would be harmful. So I got removed from home I bought and paid for. She lives there with man she cheated with, playing house. My kids call him dad. I'm the visitor who pays for everything. Financial obligations are destroying him slowly. Greater than $5,600 monthly in combined support and alimony. After taxes, he keeps $2,100 monthly for himself. Lives in one-bedroom apartment, works 70-plus hours weekly. Sees kids 48 hours monthly, supervised by her choice. I'm funding my own humiliation and replacement. Every month paying for them to play family. He's attempted suicide 3 times since divorce finalized. Each time I wake up and realize nothing changed. I'm still paying her, still losing my kids. Still living in hell with no escape for 12 more years. Death is the only way out of this arrangement. This is what my pre-marriage patients are terrified of becoming. 12th patient, 33-year-old psychiatrist, refusing to marry girlfriend. I prescribe SSRIs to divorced men all day. Most common presentation, post-divorce financial and custody trauma. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, suicidal ideation. I see the pattern clinically. I'm not volunteering for it. He explains what he sees from psychiatric perspective. Divorce trauma in men presents similar to combat trauma. Loss of identity, loss of purpose, loss of family structure. Plus financial devastation creating chronic stress. Many develop actual PTSD from family court proceedings. Standard treatments barely help because stressor is ongoing. His girlfriend thinks his medical knowledge makes him paranoid. But he shows me his prescription records anonymized. 65% of my male patients are divorced or going through divorce. Almost all on multiple psychiatric medications. Many have been hospitalized for suicide attempts. I know the pharmaceutical interventions, they're not enough. Can't prescribe away losing your children and life savings. Start writing research paper on what I'm discovering. Rational fear. Male marriage avoidance as risk assessment, not pathology. Document patterns across my patient population. Include statistical evidence supporting their fears. Argue current therapeutic approaches are misguided. Men need legal reform, not psychiatric treatment. Submit paper to 3 major psychology journals. All 3 reject without peer review. Topic 2 controversial for publication. Appears to validate misogynistic narratives. Could be used to undermine women's rights. Academic censorship of uncomfortable truths. 13th patient, 29-year-old social worker, ultimate irony case. He helps families in crisis professionally. Sees child custody battles from inside system. Now girlfriend wants marriage. He's having existential crisis. I place kids in foster care when parents are unfit. But in divorce court, I see fit fathers lose custody routinely. System I work in is broken against men. He describes cases that radicalized him against marriage. Watched father lose custody who volunteered at kids' school. Coach of their sports teams, involved in every aspect. Mother barely attended their activities. She got primary custody because children need their mother. Father devastated, kids crying, judge didn't care. Another case from his work. Father had documented evidence of mother's drug use. Photos, texts, witness testimony. Judge gave her custody with promise to attend rehab. She never went. Father back in court, still no custody change. System protects mothers even when they're actively harmful. His girlfriend cannot understand his resistance. We work with families together, she sees what I see. But she thinks we'd be different somehow. She doesn't get that system doesn't care if you're good father. System cares that you're father, not mother. Professional experience making marriage impossible for him. 14th patient, 41-year-old divorced man, second divorce pending. Thought first divorce was bad luck. Remarried hoping for different outcome. Second wife followed exact same pattern as first. Sweet and affectionate while dating. Changed completely after wedding. Entitled, critical, sexually withholding. Filed for divorce after 4 years citing unhappiness. He's about to lose everything for second time. I thought I learned from first marriage. chose someone completely different. But outcome is exactly the same. It's not the women, it's the institution. Marriage itself changes relationship dynamics. Explains his theory about marriage transformation. While dating, women compete to keep men. After marriage, they have legal leverage. Behavior changes because incentives changed. They can get bored, leave, and take everything. No-fault divorce means they face zero consequences. His analysis, supported by his own repeated experience. Start realizing the title of my research is wrong. It's not that men see marriage as suicide. For many men, marriage literally leads to suicide. The suicidal ideation my patients present isn't irrational. It's logical response to legal system designed to destroy them.